I recently received an invitation to the Oregon State University College of Engineering Golden Jubilee, and I decided to attend, and I'm very happy I attended. I had a great time there. I had very briefly been back there for a day or less about 20 years ago, and, and boy, sure a lot has changed since then. June is a great month to visit a beautiful campus. So many things are in bloom. It's really well landscaped. And there are many new buildings that weren't there when I was there before, like where we had the lunch in the alumni building. It just was a lot to see. But the biggest thing, I think, is the people. They really had the top of the university there to greet us, to show us around, and make us feel totally welcome, like part of a big family. Another attendee brought up the memory in question. When we first started there, they said, look to the right of you, look to the left of you. That person's not going to be there in a few years, or even in 1 year, for that matter. That it was very difficult, and many people didn't make it. I had someone that lived next to me that got like a .56 average, with D being a 1.0. And he didn't make it there. He went somewhere else and got a 3.0 at doing something. They are working more on retention of students now to help them out.
Now, students made the journey from DHBW Ravensburg to Oregon State University to study and also participate on our Formula student team. Now, this happened for approximately 3 years or so before a couple of students came up with the idea of combining both DHBW Ravensburg's Formula student team as well as Oregon State's Formula student team.
This is the vehicle that they came up with in the internal combustion engine category. There is a driverless category and an electric category also.
But because Jake Luton has a presentation, a final presentation, his class at 2 o'clock, I'd like to introduce our starting quarterback for the Oregon State Beavers. Started all last year. He's in the mix this year, and he's just doing a fabulous job leading the team in his 6th year, right? That's right. In his 6th year. Had some injury issues, and we are very blessed to have Jake representing us from Marysville-Pilchuck High School up in Washington. I'm going to let Jake just talk a little bit about what it's like to be a Beaver football player. Jake Luton. All right.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for letting me join in and speak to all you guys. Like you said, my name is Jake Luton. I'm from Marysville, Washington, not too far from here. This is my 3rd year as a Beaver, and I've truly loved every moment of it. I've transferred in from a couple other places that I've been, and just the experience that I've had here in Corvallis has been amazing. I grew up, I'm a Northwest boy, so I feel right at home.
My 4 years here. I'm about to graduate next Saturday, so I'm pretty excited about that, with a degree in kinesiology. And then in August, I'm leaving to go play in Germany professionally. So I'll be there for about 8 or 9 months, and looking forward to just keep playing basketball as long as I can, because it's been a passion since I was a little girl. And I've been a Beaver my whole life too. I'm from Salem, so I'm 40 minutes from here. And
football player here. One of the things is that I was a little bit too focused on football and not beyond football. So that's what I do, is kind of explain that and try to figure out what their interests are, what they're going to be curious about doing it. Because just like me, a lot of them all they've done is just played football up to this point. They've never had a job, but they don't understand that a lot of those skills that you learn as a football player translates into the real world and being able to work and be a good employee. So training them doing that, so it's resumes, interviews, just helping them all with that, and then using our Beaver alum network, just reaching out to alumni across the nation pretty much, and trying to help them find jobs. So we have somebody that just went to Seattle. We've been working with somebody in Seattle, Chicago, but utilizing that base. But I'm also varsity OSU president, so currently, so I have 1 more year of doing that for another term, and doing events like this and being connected with our alumni is extremely important, and so I'm excited.
Research Stadium, the home of the Oregon State University's Beavers, has had over $200 million of physical improvements completed since the 2005 season.
Restrooms, folks, if you need, bingo, either way, restrooms. Yep. I think we're just gonna hang out in here and, this is called the club. It's called the Toyota Club. I mean, everything's, you gotta have a sponsor.
That's where the big wedding was.
This is where the wedding was. Yep. Give us $4 million a year for the rights to sell all the naming. So the signs in Goss Stadium, the signage here, the signage here. So they give us $4 million. They're going to take that inventory and generate $6 million. They take $2 million, pay their representatives for doing the sales, but it gets us out of the sales business, and it really does a fantastic job of connecting us with some great sponsors. One of them being Spirit Mountain right up the road here at the casino. Wonderful. Gosh, a group of Native Americans that are the tribal leaders up there. We're just, they love Oregon State. We love them. Toyota's been a huge sponsor.
Type of product and this type of construction originated in Alpine Europe, but it's something that's been adopted here increasingly. We've got two products shown here. One is cross-laminated timber. Cross-laminated timber is like dimension lumber that's been glued together at right angles to make a big structural panel. So this is something that can replace concrete, reinforced concrete, steel in larger buildings. So this can be in floors or in walls or in roofs. On the right here, we have mass plywood. Mass plywood is kind of what it sounds like. It's very large plywood panels that have been laid up in very intricate, special ways. Here's why we care about mass timber, at least this is how I've summed it up. Environmental reasons and economic reasons. So on the environmental side, we can argue that these types of wood products require a lot less energy and have a lot less output of carbon dioxide. This car is totaled. It's the same thing that happens with buildings. If you look at the Christchurch earthquake in New Zealand, almost all the buildings stayed standing after the earthquake. But after the fact, they had to tear down almost a third of all the buildings in the downtown. And it's something like $42 billion worth of buildings that they had to tear down because they were no longer structurally viable, despite the fact that they were standing. So this building represents this is the first ever application of cross-laminated timber in a building in the United States that uses a post-tensioning system. And basically the idea is there are these tendons that run through the walls and then they're tightened down after the fact. So the walls are cinched down. You know those old toys where you press the bottom and the thing goes loose and then it's like elastic and it pops back up? It's kind of like that. So the wall always wants to get back to its original standing place. It's called self-centering. Meanwhile, you have these brackets on the side of the walls. So those brackets are where all of the damage is focalized. So that's what dissipates the energy of the mass of the building rocking back and forth during an earthquake. And these are replaceable. So it's basically a design that allows for control of where damage happens in a building, meaning that the building is no longer just designed for life and safety, it's designed for life and safety, but also for resilience, that the building is still used. So that is one of the more innovative parts of the PB building. Here you can see this is where the rods go through in the walls.
Next, we went next door to the Red Emerson Advanced Wood Products Laboratory that's just completed. they can measure strength of buildings and stuff. In fact, the standards people can use this to test the standards, because this is the most advanced building there is for this. And of course, industry can use it, and research, they can use it for others. So it serves many functions here. They can see how well something will handle an earthquake, how much force it will take. The Student Experience Center opened in 2015. It houses 28 student programs and initiatives. And it does not have classrooms there, but it has special programs like arts and crafts, and TV stations and radio stations.
On the very top floor, the fourth floor, we're going to find our Orange Media Network. This is going to be home to our campus TV station, radio station, fashion magazine, regular magazine, and daily print newspaper. So everything up there is completely student run and led. You can actually be involved in any of those programs, whether you're studying in that field like digital communications or
All right, we're looking at, so these folks, you're looking at each other through the door. This has really been a phenomenal space for them to be able to work in.
Well, this is our TV studio. Our students at KBVR Television produce 3 live TV shows every week. That includes talk shows, comedy, live music performances, and students are taught how to use all the equipment that you see here in this room. All of the cameras, the lights, our microphones, and students create a different show every time. They use the equipment, they come up with
Golden Jubilee welcome reception in the Memorial Union Lounge.
Beaver cheese. There's a theme going on here. Art Meet Science Center. Such shady students of OSU, ask OSU. How are you?
Construction on the Memorial Union was completed in 1928, and it was dedicated on June 1st, 1929. It has been a symbol of the campus center since that time, and a center for campus life where someone could just go hang out and relax and be somewhere other than the library or their dorm room. This is one of the landmarks of Oregon State University. And it's across from beautiful quad of a lot of trees and a lot of open space. So most people will remember that associated with the university. They'll think of the Memorial Union and the quad space around there. Of course, coming in June is a great time. Everything's totally green and there's still sunshine and warmth and everything else like that. And this is a classic picture of it. There is a squirrel on this tree. The Women's Building was constructed in 1926. It currently houses the College of Public Health and Human Sciences. The medallion lunch featuring President Edward Ray and the class of 1969 group photos.
Good afternoon. It's wonderful to be here with all of you today, and I appreciate the kind words from John. I'm pleased to welcome the alumni back for today's Golden Jubilee class of 69. It's inspiring to see the class of 59 and the class of 49 here. My alma mater, I was class of 66, so it gives me hope to see the class of 49 represented here. Bless you for that. John reminded me of two things. You may have noticed that he said that for the first time ever, we will have 200,000 alumni after this year's graduation. Well, those of you who were here in 59 and 49, I'm almost
the traditional medallion ceremony and handshake. Then we wandered over to Rogers Hall, the mechanical engineering building that was built when I went to school, to look for our class picture on the wall, as they had all the class pictures there. Then we went over to what is now called the Valley Library, where I used to hang out under a different name, but also I wanted to see the exhibit they had. Linus Pauling was the only person in history, an OSU graduate, to earn 2 Nobel Prizes in independent subjects. And they have his office as it was when he left it there. And so I was curious, this is it right now, just to see what that looked like, and these are the Nobel Prizes. If you like this at all, please hit the thumbs up button, and even better, hit the subscribe. I hope to do more photos about side things like favorite places in the Trinity Alps, and videos of around Arcata, California, and Humboldt State, because I live there, and community forest. There's a lot of neat things I hope to be doing. Thank you. Bye.